So hello everyone and welcome to this week's RLE. I'm actually going to use the actual video. I don't really watch this guy's podcast, but because of something that I'm going to be covering, that he covered about exorcism, I found this on his channel. So I wanted to share it actually from him. And this is the reason, and I hope you guys can hear me on this week's RLE. It's going to be, I'm not going to speak very long. The video is only about maybe 5 minutes. But this is why I say that the Antichrist is not going to come on the wings of this tyrannical rule. And this is why I call out us focusing in on a second half. And I say this in love, I really do, and maybe you guys just don't get that from me. When you guys listen to all of these prophecy channels, hear me when I say this, please. The very thing that they're talking about is the very thing that these secular channels are also noticing. Is that not a red flag? Like I'm just asking a question. I'm not stirring the pot. I'm not being all judgmental Kim or loud, rude, angry Kim. I'm really genuinely asking because what we're going to see here, the unbeliever is aware of what's happening. My question is, and this is why I do what I do, why are we not talking about the false light deception that is coming? This false light of a God agenda, this awakening, but it has nothing to do with God. So I'm going to let this video play, and it sums it up perfectly. And I have nothing else to say after the video ends. So I'll end it here until I see you here, there, or in the air. Let us pay attention, or be careful, little ears and eyes, what we see. When the Christian community is saying the same exact thing as a secular community, is God really in it? Or are we all being deceived? Have fun watching it.
What has been.
And they're just trying to go along to get along, and they're just trying to keep their job, and they care more about keeping the job than actually speaking the truth. And it's what we talked about. You don't want to be ostracized in Washington. You don't want to be cast out. They see what happens to people like me. They have done for years all that they could to destroy me.
Some Hawaii lawmakers are demanding answers from the TSA.
They want to know why former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is included on the TSA's suspected terrorist watch list.
They want to be the ultimate master.
At this pivotal moment, I see several priorities for the global agenda. Narrow the gap between the rich and the poor.
The program is called Quiet Skies. Federal air marshals following 2 to 3 dozen Americans every day through airports and onto planes, even sitting right next to them.
They want to be the ultimate creator. They want to be the controller.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again.
For example, people who have faith in God. Well, if you have faith in God, that means you are not going to be open to having faith in them or their power or the government.
Allegedly, the FBI used an undercover agent to target the clergy and leadership of the U.S. Catholic Church. That is according to a memo signed by House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan.
And so therefore, they view this as a competition. That they have to compete for our faith and our allegiance and our loyalty. And that if we believe in an authority and higher power that is more powerful than the government, then that takes away what they view as their oxygen.
Wow. How many of these people are there?
I have heard from and seen, people who've been lifelong Democrats who, when they start learning about this, see it for the insanity that it is.
The Satanic Temple. We told you about them before on this show. Remember, they're battling a lot of conservative movements by fighting for what they say is their members' religious rights.
Today's Democrat Party is doing everything that they can to try to erase God from every facet of our public life and going after and targeting people of faith and spirituality, which directly defies our First Amendment and our freedom of religion. I dedicate a chapter to identity politics and how the Democrat Party is racializing everything and trying to tear us apart. Dedicate a chapter to free speech. These are fundamental principles that are grounded and rooted in our Constitution. My experience is being outlined, and I am encouraging people to leave the Democrat Party behind, because that's the party that I was part of for over 20 years. The things that I'm bringing up are things that we should all be concerned about, and that should drive us, if we care, to actually want to take action.